Thanks for listening to Middle-Aged and Mediocre. I'm Cash.
I'm Joel.
And we are a podcast about all things strange and unusual, death and UFOs, and other creepy,
Cults,
weird, random
ghosts.
stories. There you go.
Yeah. Not just naming things in the room.
Oh my god.
There's a cult of ghosts.
The 1980s was a remarkable era for cinema, leaving an indelible mark on popular culture that still resonates today. It was a time when big hair, neon collars, and shoulder pads were in vogue, and the silver screen transported audiences to worlds both familiar and fantastical. From heartwarming tales that tugged at our heartstrings to pulse-pounding adventures that kept us on the edge of our seats, the 80s had it all. From action-packed blockbusters like Indiana Jones and Die Hard to comedic gems like Ghostbusters and Back to the Future, the 80s gives us with unforgettable characters, quotable lines, and imaginative worlds that captured our imagination. Beyond the compelling stories, the 80s introduced us to a new wave of visionary directors who pushed the boundaries of filmmaking. From Steven Spielberg's mastery of spectacle and fantasy to John Hughes' ability to capture the essence of teenage angst, these creators left an indelible imprint on the cinematic landscape. So dust off your VHS tapes, cue up your favorite 80s soundtrack, and join us as we celebrate the magic of a decade that continues to enchant audiences of all ages. In part 1, we covered Joel's top 5 films from the 80s, License to Drive, Stand By Me, Back to the Future, Batman, and RoboCop. In part 2, by the way, Batman and RoboCop is not a movie. It was Batman and RoboCop.
I want that movie now!
In part 2, we'll look at my top 5 80s films. As we said in part 1, these are the movies we loved in the 80s, not necessarily the 80s movies that we watch later in life and now love.
Yeah, there's a difference.
This is Middle-Aged Mediocre. I'm Cash.
Guitar solo! I'm Joel!
Weekly, wow!
Yeah!
And this is our
80s.
top 10 80s movies, part 2. Part D. What's going
The
on?
80s, man. Sequels were big in the 80s.
Sequels were huge in the 80s.
Like you got all the movies that had another movie after them.
Yeah.
Think of all those.
Trilogies weren't bad either. Yeah, I think the 80s is when sequels really started to...
Lethal Weapon 2 was the 80s, I bet. 3 and 4 were later on, obviously.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 2 had to still be the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, I can check real quick because I have a computer in front of me.
Right there it is.
89, Lethal Weapon 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, Back to the Future, Karate Kid.
89 was a good year for movies.
Good year for humans. That's when my girlfriend was born.
Just looking at it real
Big
quick.
fan.
Batman, Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, Halloween 5, Nightmare on Elm Street, 5, Friday 13th.
5 of those in the 80s.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
7 of those in the 80s, probably.
Shocker.
Oh, shocker.
Little Mermaid. Yeah, lots of good movies in 80.
I found Little Mermaid
89.
2 at Salvation Army on VHS.
I did not know there was a 2.
Me neither. It's there.
Most, I guess, like, I'm finding most Disney movies did have a part 2.
Yeah, and I have, like, Aladdin 2, and, like, there's one about Jafar. There's a Lion King 2. I bought a lot that had a bunch of them in there.
You took it to Jafar.
Shut it down! That's, yo, you gotta cut it up and put that out. Oh, my God. I'm impressed with that. That was, wow.
You
Bow
are rubbing off on me.
Wow, all over you.
All over me.
Try to stop me.
I had the arch nemesis joke.
Oh, my God, dude, that was...
Now
It's like you were waiting for me to bring, like, every time I come over, you're like, please talk about Aladdin 2 and how they even made another one about Jafar.
God, I wrote that joke down 2 years ago, and I've just been waiting.
Is that why all this Aladdin's crap out? You just trying to, like, drop
Subliminal hints. That's why I decided this podcast, I was like, all right, he's not getting it. We're going to have to start talking about 80s movies.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Oh, good work. It's a long con.
But yeah, this will be part 2 of our top 10 80s movies. This is going to be my list.
The lesser important list.
The lesser important
That's
list. We
like
saved
number 2.
because we wanted to get the good ones out of the way. Honestly, looking at my
the whole
list,
time, if you would have put yours first, we're like, yeah, but what about Joel's top 5?
yeah, people would have probably not listened, which people aren't listening.
Oh, wow! Oh, they're waiting for both halves.
We may have miscalculated on that one.
No one cares about 80 movies.
Yeah, apparently not.
I'm 80s up with them.
Oh,
it's not as good as Jafar.
So looking, after we did your list last week, because I knew what they were because you had to send them to me so I could get ready. But the success of yours compared to the success of mine is like, I don't have the same taste that most of the public has, apparently. Because I'm reading, we'll get to it, but not many of my movies did what you would call well.
Oh yeah, mine had pretty high scores. Mine were
yeah, like yours made money.
Well, I think
not many of mine did.
That doesn't make them good though.
Right.
I mean, they're good because they're in my top 5, but a lot of that's not because I liked how the screenwriting was and the lighting and the editing was top notch. Like no,
I just like it.
Yeah, they made me happy as a kid in the 80s.
So we're gonna get into mine. We're gonna start with
Let's get all up in them guts.
I just watched this one last night, and goddamn, does it hold?
Yeah.
Still to this day, we're gonna talk about The Princess Bride.
I haven't seen that.
I cannot believe you've never seen The Princess Bride.
I can tell you about it. It's got like
and that's how good it is.
Robin Hood, that guy that plays Robin Hood.
Yes,
Is he in
Carrie
it?
Yules.
Yep, he's in it, and Andre the Giant's in it.
Yes.
And not Billy Crystal.
Yes.
Oh, damn Billy Crystal.
Damn Billy Crystal.
Okay. What else is on your list? Let's keep going.
That's how great The Princess Bride is. You've never seen it and you know about it.
Yeah.
It was released on October 9th, 1987, with an estimated budget of $16 million. It would go on to gross over $30 million worldwide. It was based on William Goldman's novel of the same name. The Princess Bride tells the story of a swashbuckling farmhand named Wesley, accompanied by companions befriended along the way, who must rescue his true love, Princess Buttercup, from the...
Sounds like Mario to me.
This was the true story of Mario.
Okay.
He must rescue Princess Buttercup from Prince Humperdinck.
Not Bowser.
Not Bowser. The movie begins with a young boy who is sick in bed and playing hardball on the Commodore 64. I never had a Commodore 64.
No, I thought he was just playing hardball with like his mom or something like that. I'm not going to get better.
Or the Keanu Reeves movie from the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Or the 2000s, I don't know. He's visited by...
his grandparents in bed with him.
Well, he is visited by his grandfather.
Okay.
Who's not in bed. He shows up. He has a book for him. It's titled, you guessed it, The Princess Bride.
A book. Thanks for nothing, Grandpa.
That's pretty much what the kid says to him.
What am I going to do with this?
He opens it up and he goes, a book? So I am not like him because I loved books.
Yeah.
I usually gift, like, Tim, his daughter, when her birthday would come around, I would be like, I bought her a book as a gift because I'm still that guy.
Yeah. Books are
Here's
cool.
books, read them.
Kidding.
The story transports us to the fictional land of Florin, where we meet the beautiful she's just Buttercup at this point. She's not Princess Buttercup. And her true love, Wesley, a lowly farm boy.
Buttercup, say it, Buttercup.
Their love is pure and unwavering, but Wesley sets out to seek his fortune so he can marry Buttercup and provide a better life for them both. However, tragedy strikes when he is captured by the dread pirate Roberts and presumed dead. Heartbroken, Buttercup reluctantly agrees to marry the villainous Prince Humperdinck, who plans to marry her for his own selfish purposes. Little does Buttercup know that Wesley is still alive and determined to rescue her. Those selfish purposes are he is going to marry her, and then he is going to murder her, and then he's going to blame it on another kingdom so they can go to war. And he can take
a tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time. Throughout their journey, Wesley encounters a colorful cast of characters, including a Spanish swordsman named Inigo Montoya.
I've always appreciated a colorful cast of characters.
It's one of my favorite things about movies, is the colorful cast of characters.
Beginning, middle, end. And then somewhere in the middle, there's a colorful cast of characters.
That's why I don't like black and white films. The characters aren't colorful enough.
Nope, not at all.
But yeah, he meets Inigo Montoya, who is seeking vengeance for his father's murder, a giant named Fezzik with a heart of gold, and a clever and eccentric mastermind named Vizzini. Together they face many obstacles. Not Vizzini. Vizzini dies quickly. Together they face many obstacles.
Spoilers!
Including the treacherous cliffs of insanity, the fire swamp, and Prince Humperdinck's sadistic right-hand man, Count Rugen. As Wesley's quest to rescue Buttercup intensifies, true love proves to be a powerful force that can overcome any obstacle. The story is filled with thrilling swords fights, witty banter, and unexpected plot twists. Ultimately, true love triumphs, and Wesley and Buttercup are reunited, proving that love conquers all. Returning to the present, Fred that's the kid, eagerly asks his grandfather to read the book to him again, expressing his love for the story. The grandfather, moved by his enthusiasm, promises to read it to him as many times as he wishes. The film ends with the two sharing a heartfelt moment, highlighting the power of storytelling and the enduring magic of The Princess Bride. Fred Savage plays the grandson. Peter Falk plays his grandfather.
Fred motherfucking Savage?
Fred Savage.
Damn, Wonder Years.
So you had the Corys. You will notice Fred Savage is
a
mainstay.
Yeah. Fred Savage was the shit, man. He was really
I was never a huge fan of the Wonder Years, though.
Yeah, I watched it.
I mean, I watched it, but it didn't really last with me the way his movies apparently did.
He also went on to direct some Always Sunny in Philadelphia episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was a big thing in the 80s, too, where, someone was reading the story and, the story started happening.
Right.
What's the one with, the flying dragon?
The never-ending story.
One of those, not Tales from the Crypt, but there's another one where, the boy was stuck in the cage, and he's like, let me read these stories to you, because the lady was going to eat them. And it was, all those little scary short stories. Creep Show, maybe?
Yeah, I think that is how Creep Show, yeah.
But there's a lot more, too, the whole reading of a book.
It's a good way to start a movie. You do one now, though, and people are like, what is happening? That's just, do they not have a tablet?
Tablet?
Carrie Ewells plays Wesley. Robin Wright is Buttercup. Mandy Patinkin, Wallace Shawn, and Andre the Giant turn in unforgettable roles as Inigo Montoya, Vizzini, and Fezzik, respectively, who are the thieves who originally kidnapped Buttercup. Rob Reiner, the director and writer of this movie, had been a fan of the book ever since he was given it as a gift from his father and wanted to make a film adaptation. During production of Stand By Me, that was on your list, released in 1986,
Rob Reiner is kind of a mean director. The kids were talking about on Stand By Me, he would yell at them until they would cry, and then he'd record them through their seat crying.
I mean, cry better. Reiner had spoken to an executive at Paramount Pictures regarding what his next film would be and suggested the adaptation of The Princess Bride. He was told they could not, leading Reiner to discover that several studios had previously attempted to bring the book to the big screen without success. Those previous attempts included 20th Century Fox, which paid the writer, Goldman, $500,000 for the film rights, and to do a screenplay in 1973. Richard Lester was signed to direct, and the movie was almost made, but the head of production at Fox was fired, and the project was put on hiatus. Goldman bought the rights back to his book, with his own money. Other directors had also attempted to adapt the book, including Robert Redford and Norman Jewison. And at one point, Christopher Reeves was interested in playing Wesley. Reiner found success by gaining financial support from Norman Lear, who Reiner knew from All in the Family, and who had funded the production of This Is Spinal Tap, with the production of The Princess Bride to be distributed by 20th Century Fox. Reiner worked closely with Goldman to adapt the book for the screenplay. And what a screenplay it was. Almost every scene is memorable in one way or the other.
I don't remember any of them.
You remember who's in it?
Yep, I do.
The dialogue is sharp, clever, and humorous. The acting is incredible, and the scenes are filled with small moments that feel like a Mel Brooks movie at times. The film is still quoted to this day, and not just one or two quotes, but most scenes include at least one line that someone out there repeats regularly. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I've heard that.
Anybody want a peanut? That's Andre's big line.
Ah, that's why they say that.
He's got quite a few.
Okay.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. Have fun storming the castle. And, of course, as you wish. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds a 98% approval rating based on 80 reviews and an audience score of 94%. When Goldman originally shopped his novel in the early 70s, his first choice for Fezzik was Andre the Giant, whose wrestling schedule left him unavailable for filming. Goldman's second choice was Arnold, who at that time was almost unknown as an actor. However, by the time The Princess Bride was finally greenlit, Arnold was a major film star and the studio could not afford him. WWF was contacted to ask again about Andre, but were told that the filming conflicted with the wrestling match in Tokyo that would pay him $5 million. So other tall men were auditioned for the role, including Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Ferrigno, and some dude named Carl Strucken, but those did not pan out. Andre was hesitant to take the part on the account of the fact that the film's dialogue was in English while he was French, and because he was a professional wrestler, not an actor. Furthermore, he was suffering from a ton of pain at this point in his life.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson auditioned for the role, but was turned down due to his height, and apparently was offended about that.
Oh.
But, like, if they're trying to cast Andre the Giant, and you're Liam Neeson, maybe this isn't for you, Liam. Near the end of casting, the World Wrestling Federation told the studio that Andre's match in Tokyo had been canceled, and he was clear for the role of Fezzik. For his part, Andre found his participation was a gratifying experience, considering that no one stared at him on set during production as some sort of freak. But instead, they treated him like a fellow member of the cast. There's scenes in the movie where Wesley's beginning, he has to, like, he's trying to rescue the princess, and the thieves, kind of, he has to go through each one by one.
Yeah.
So the first one he has to, like, dual sword fighting with Inigo Montoya. Then he has to, like, use strength to beat Andre, and then use wits to get rid of Vizzini. But with Andre, like, I guess anytime you don't see, if you see, like, a full body of both of them, like, there's a scene where Wesley's hanging around his neck, choking him out. Like, apparently that's just, like a big doll.
Oh.
And then, like, any scene that you can't quite see, like, Wesley's feet, they've got ramps built, so that way Wesley can stand on them, so he's not, like, putting all the, because Andre's back was just shot. Like, there's a bunch of scenes with Andre where he can barely move.
Like WrestleMania 5 Andre.
Yeah, he was already. But yeah, I rewatched this movie last night. Probably hadn't watched it in close to a decade at this point.
Yeah.
It's still, I mean,
not good, huh?
Not good at all. Billy Crystal, his scene, he plays Miracle Max, this, like, guy that, he's, like, basically a dude that can make potions and stuff, and, like, cures.
Yeah.
He apparently improvised most of his lines, and, like, a few of the Carrie Yules and a couple other people had to actually be pulled off the set because they couldn't stop laughing while they were filming.
Okay.
Yeah, the movie's great. I can't...
Talk me into it.
I don't have it. It's on, what did I watch it on? HBO Max, maybe?
All right. It's just Max.
It's just Max.
Yeah,
Sorry,
okay.
Max.
Can you fucking get...
Sorry, Max. Yeah, I do recommend it, though.
All right.
So, next up is Howard the Duck.
Yes.
Howard the Duck is a quirky sci-fi comedy film that follows the adventures of Howard, a sarcastic and anthropomorphic duck from another dimension. Howard is accidentally transported to Earth through a scientific experiment going wrong and finds himself stranded in Cleveland. We've all been there.
Oh, yeah. Cleveland? I got robbed there.
I've been stranded in Cleveland, too. You got robbed there.
Oh, yeah, sure. I was at a Ring of Honor show, and they just broke into my car. And,
oh, it's not like gunpoint or anything.
Took, like, some things that you can't report.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took a bag, but also took, like, a Game Gear or something like the Nintendo, whatever it was at the time.
Game
Boy
Boy
Advance with a bunch of games.
Sons of bitches.
Sons of...
If you're out there listening.
And the cops are like, we don't care.
Right.
Like, you're what?
Yeah, you're like, yeah, they stole my Game Boy Advance. If you find anything else, that wasn't mine.
That wasn't mine at all.
Even if it's all in the same, like, bag and stuff.
Unless you want to give it to me, I can get rid of it for you.
If you tell me what you find, I'll tell you what was mine and what wasn't.
All right, Howard.
So confused and desperate to find a way back home, Howard befriends a young musician named Beverly Switzler, played by Leah Thompson, who sympathizes with the situation. Together they navigate the strange and sometimes hostile human world while trying to unravel the mystery of Howard's arrival. As Howard and Beverly delve deeper into the investigation, they discover that an ancient and powerful alien being called the Dark Overlord of the Universe is responsible for Howard's unintended trip to Earth. The Dark Overlord plans to use a massive energy laser to bring his alien brethren to conquer the planet. With the help of a quirky scientist named Dr. Jennings, Howard and Beverly embark on a daring mission to stop the Dark Overlord and save Earth. Along the way, they encounter bizarre and amusing characters, including a punk rocker turned lab assistant named Phil Blumbert. As the climactic battle unfolds, Howard must tap into his unexpected bravery and resourcefulness to confront the Dark Overlord and prevent the impending alien invasion. With the fate of both worlds hanging in the balance, Howard discovers his own heroic potential and fights against the odds. In a final showdown, Howard, Beverly, and their newfound allies confront the Dark Overlord and his minions. Through wit, determination, and a bit of luck, they manage to thwart the Dark Overlord's plans and send him back to his own dimension. Having saved the day, Howard and Beverly bid each other farewell. Howard, now a celebrated figure, decides to stay on Earth and embrace his new life, using his unique perspective to bring humor and wisdom to the world around him. Howard the Duck
Howard!
is an offbeat adventure that combines elements of science fiction, comedy, and action. It showcases the unlikely heroism of an interdimensional duck and celebrates the power of friendship, resilience, and embracing one's own uniqueness. It's a lot like Back to the Future. Leah Thompson is very attractive, trying to bang something she shouldn't be banging. And I'm pretty sure, like, that was just an 80s, like, you just throw out an 80s movie, you got gold.
Yep.
Worked in Back to the Future, worked in Howard the Duck.
There's got to be some sort of sexual tension, and they were like, what? Even with the duck? Like, yeah, we'll do it.
She's like, yeah, whatever. I'll be in my...
Remember when they were looking at the play duck?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That left quite an impression. The screenplay for Howard the Duck was originally intended to be an animated film, but the film adaptation became live action because of a contractual obligation. Although several TV adaptations of Marvel characters had aired during the preceding 21 years, this was the first attempt at a theatrical release since the Captain America serial of 1944. So Howard the Duck is responsible for the MCU.
Wow.
If you want
Good job, Howard.
to look at it that way.
And that was like, as a kid, we're like, this is a kid's movie. And they're like, no, I'm like, watching it. That's
the same with when they made, remember The Punisher with, what's his name? Dolph Lundgren. Was it Dolph Lundgren played the Punisher?
I don't know, maybe.
But, like, that was another Marvel movie, and it is the Punisher, so it's going to have guns and stuff. But, like, definitely not kid-friendly.
No.
It took Marvel a while to be like, maybe we should make kids' movies?
Turn it down a touch.
George Lucas proposed adapting the comic book following the production of American Graffiti. After multiple production difficulties and mixed response to test screenings, Howard the Duck was released in theaters on August 1st, 1986, and grossed just shy of $38 million. Barely recovering its estimated $37 million budget.
Wow! In 1988?
86.
Or 86? I mean, that's a huge budget.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that good of a, like, duck costume.
No.
Jesus! Half of that was cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to make a duck movie. Let's go!
Yeah, it, like, so $38 million was the budget. I think it made, like, 37.1 something. So...
It's a cult classic now, though.
Yeah. Upon its release, the film was a critical and commercial failure, and was criticized for its humor, performances, inconsistent tone, and appearance of the title character.
It's a duck, people.
Though the effects and soundtrack were mostly praised. Howard the Duck currently has an approval rating of 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow!
With an audience score of 38%.
Wow!
Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune gave 1 star out of 4, calling it a stupid film, and said, "The story has no center, the duck is not likable, and...
The duck is not likable!
And the special effects...
I need that on a shirt. That's a shirt right there. The duck is not likable.
Show a picture of Howard the Duck, and then the duck is not likable.
Just the words, the duck is not likable. I'm going to wear it to the zoo.
The special effects are less impressive than a sparkler on a birthday cake. On their television show, Siskel and Ebert complained that the movie was not enough of a comedy, and that Howard should have been given either the Groucho Marx-like personality from his comic books or a fun Donald Duck-like persona. The film's ending left it open for a sequel. However, after the film bombed, that didn't happen.
That's not happening.
According to reports...
Bring it back. Bring it back.
They talked about it after he made an appearance in the Avengers.
Oh, really?
So there may end up being one.
Oh, yeah.
According to reports at the time of the movie's
They'll
release...
run out of ideas. Give them a couple years.
Yeah. It'll be like a Disney exclusive thing.
Yeah.
It'll be probably a series. George Lucas had just built the $50 million Skywalker Ranch complex and was counting on this film to get him back in the black.
Ah!
When it bombed, he was forced to start selling off assets to stay afloat.
I hope he's okay.
I hope he's doing well these days.
What's his name? George...
Lucas?
Lucas?
Okay.
George
Lucas.
What else? Oh, hey, Lucas! I wonder what else he has done.
His friend, Steve Jobs,
the
CEO of Apple Computer, offered to help by buying Lucasfilm's newly launched CGI animation division for a price well above market value. George Lucas, in dire straits and thankful for the assistance, agreed. That division eventually became Pixar Animation Studios.
Oh, nice.
So Howard the Duck responsible for the MC Universe
and
Pixar.
And what did that guy say? I didn't like the duck. The duck, what did he
It was
say?
a stupid film, and the duck is not likable.
The duck is not likable.
Yeah, well, you know what? That duck is responsible for so much money
And
now.
that dude's dead.
Yeah. So, who won in the end?
Yeah,
Howard the duck.
The duck. The duck is likable.
That's right. Fuck you, Siskel. And you, Ebert.
Stick it in your ear, Bert.
All right, we'll be right back after this ad
Oh,
with the
last three.
The last three.
Yeah.
And we're back.
We were talking about movies in the break.
We don't talk about the break.
Movies. Oh, yeah, we don't talk about what happens in the break.
We're talking about current movies.
Yeah.
So, first two, Princess Bride and Howard the Duck.
Yep.
Going into number 3 here with All Dogs Go to Heaven. It is a heartwarming animated film that tells the tale of a lovable canine named Charlie B. Barkin. Charlie is a street smart. It's because he's a dog in the dog.
Yeah, okay. I get it.
Charlie is
I've seen that movie probably one time.
Really?
When it came out. What year was it?
You'll
get to it. Go ahead.
89.
Okay.
He's a street smart and charismatic dog who unfortunately finds himself in a bit of trouble. The story begins with Charlie and his loyal companion, a mischievous little dog named Itchy Itchaford. They spent 1 minute on names.
Exactly 1 minute. You're like, give me something. Oh, Charlie B. Barkin! He did it again! Goddamn!
However, their freedom is short-lived. They break away from a dog pound. However, their freedom is short-lived when they cross paths.
Wait. Who let the dogs out?
Who?
Who?
Who let the dogs out?
Who? All right.
So they cross paths with Carface Carruthers, a treacherous bulldog and former friend of Charlie's.
Carface.
Carface.
Oh, like Scarface.
Like Scarface.
Oh, like Carface. I get it.
Consumed by jealousy and greed, orchestrates Charlie's untimely demise, sending him to dog heaven. Basically, he gets him super drunk and runs him over with a car.
Oh, man.
This is a kid's movie.
That's a tale as old as time.
Yeah. But Charlie...
This is a kid's movie.
But Charlie is not ready to accept his fate. Guided by a heavenly dog named Annabelle, Charlie sneaks back to Earth, determined to seek revenge on Carface and reclaim his life.
Revenge, that's another good lesson.
This is a kid's movie.
Good. Remember, kids, you always get revenge. It's best served cold.
Yeah. If somebody gets you drunk and runs you over with a car, you get to leave heaven and come back to murder that person.
Oh, okay.
That's a rule.
That's like one of the Bible verses.
That's in the Bible. Returning to Earth as a ghostly figure, Charlie discovers that he has the ability to communicate with animals and use this newfound power to his advantage. I wrote that, and as I read it, I realized that's not true. He does not come back as a ghostly figure.
Yeah.
He comes back and he's just alive again.
But he has like a halo or something, right?
Only when he's in heaven.
Oh, okay.
And he does not have the ability to communicate with animals. The next line is who can communicate with animals. I was apparently drunk when I wrote this.
Okay.
I wasn't, but I don't know why I wrote that. Because he comes back from heaven and he has when he gets up to heaven, there's like clocks everywhere and watches and like different timepieces. Even like a little Disney one. And like his stopwatch, he has like a stopwatch and he like steals it and he's able to like escape from heaven, but he has to make sure the stopwatch like keeps operating or he'll die again.
Oh, and go back to heaven.
So he comes back kind of as himself. He's not a ghost. Stupid. It was me that wrote that. So, once he's back, he befriends a young orphan girl.
These movies have poisoned your mind.
He befriends a young orphan girl named Anne-Marie.
Annie?
She has the ability to understand and talk to animals herself.
Okay.
Together, Charlie, Itchy, and Anne-Marie embark on a series of adventures in an effort to outsmart Carface and save Anne-Marie.
Like Scarface.
Like Scarface.
Okay.
Save her from his malicious plans. Because they have to rescue her from Carface. Because Carface has figured out she has this ability, so he uses her to talk to other animals who are involved in, like, literal rat races.
Yeah.
And things like that, and then he bets on, like...
So animals can't talk to animals?
Apparently not.
Oh.
She can talk to all of them, though.
Wow.
So she gets, like, the inside tips, and then he uses them to, like, grow a fortune. And when Charlie and Itchy save her...
Dogs need money.
Dogs need money in this world.
Dogs need money.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and when Charlie finds out about her, they save her.
Charlie be barking?
He be barking.
Okay.
And they be saving her.
Okay.
But not because they want to save her.
Yeah.
They want to do the exact same
They
thing.
want money. Other dogs want
well, he
money.
does. Itchy's just like, I just want to leave. I just want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We need to, like, we're best friends. Carface tried to murder you once. You made it. Let's go somewhere else. And Charlie's like, no. We can do the same thing Carface is doing and still be the good guys. So, along the way, they encounter a colorful cast of characters. I used it twice.
Nice.
Including a lively alligator named King Gator, which is also, you know how everybody's all upset nowadays about, like, cross-dressers and whatever.
Yeah.
It
doesn't bother me.
King Gator is a giant cross-dressing alligator
Cool.
that sings show tunes. He's awesome. But, like, again, people have been doing this forever. Drag's been a thing forever.
Yeah.
Let's not get political.
Bugs Bunny started it.
Yeah. As Charlie grows closer to Anne-Marie, he begins to experience a change of heart. He realizes the importance of selflessness, love, and sacrifice.
Boring!
Determined to make amends for his past misdeeds, Charlie puts his own life on the line to protect Anne-Marie from harm.
What life? He dead!
In the climactic confrontation, Charlie confronts Carface,
Oh.
which is like Scarface.
Like Scarface.
Showing courage and a newfound
Wait,
sense
does he
of
say,
purpose.
say hello to my little friend?
He doesn't. They really should
Does he
have.
have like a giant pile of dog bones or
He
something?
doesn't. I don't know why they called him Carface if they
Does
weren't
he
going
like kill
to
a guy in the bathtub with the chainsaw?
He does drown a guy in a bathtub.
No, he like chops him up with the chainsaw.
yeah, he does do that in the
Okay,
movie.
cool.
Yeah.
That's probably why then.
Through acts of bravery and selflessness, Charlie not
He
only
wasn't
saves...
cross-dressing when he did it.
No,
was he? Okay,
no.
good. Woo!
No need to cancel.
Close one.
He's not woke, Joel.
Yeah, okay.
So, Charlie not only saves Anne-Marie, but also finds redemption and a chance at true happily ever afterness. All Dogs Go to Heaven is a touching and uplifting story that explores the themes of friendship, redemption, and the power of love. It reminds us that even in the face of adversity, kindness and compassion can triumph, and that the bonds we form with others, both human and animal, are precious and everlasting. Directed and written by Don Bluth, alongside Gary Goldman, Don Kunster, and Ken Cromar. You know those
Oh,
guys.
I bet everyone called him Coonster. Coonster! You son of a
Coonster!
bitch, get over here!
All Dogs Go to Heaven features voice acting from Burt Reynolds as Charlie B. Barkin
Oh, man.
and Dom DeLuise as Itchy.
Dom DeLuise, dude, that's a name I have not heard in
Yeah.
a couple fucking years. He was big in the 80s.
He was. In the VHS version I had of this movie when I was a kid, it opens with Dom DeLuise doing like some sales pitch with like the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
But like, I just remember being like, "That's Itchy." He doesn't look anything like him.
I think I have this on VHS. I think
Do you?
I think so.
Released.
You'll never have it.
I don't. Released on November 17th, 1989, it competed directly with...
It snuck right in under the deadline. That's almost a 90 movie.
Almost. Unfortunately for All Dogs Go to Heaven, it opened on the same weekend as Disney's Little Mermaid.
Are they both Disney movies?
No.
No, okay.
All Dogs Go to Heaven is a Bluth production. So it did not repeat the box office success of Bluth's previous features, An American Tail and A Land Before Time, both of which were almost on this list.
Yeah.
It really hurt me to not be able to include them. It was successful.
Is that why you're crying when I got here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why I've cried for about 2
My
weeks.
God, dude. I started to almost feel bad, but I couldn't stop laughing.
Don't do that.
I couldn't stop laughing at you.
Yeah, that's the
It's
appropriate
so funny.
response.
Oh, my God, you're sobbing.
Now, the poking me with a stick was a little rude.
That wasn't a stick, but keep going. Keep going.
All Dogs Go to Heaven was successful on home video, though, becoming one of the biggest VHS releases ever. It was followed by a theatrical sequel.
I think my case is regular size. I didn't get like a big giant.
I don't know if it would have been on clamshell since it was a...
It's a joke because you said the biggest.
Oh. Slipped right by me.
It wasn't good.
For good reason.
Yep.
It was followed by a theatrical sequel, a television series, and a holiday direct-to-video film. The film had an estimated budget of $13.8 million and would go on to gross just over $27 million worldwide.
Hey, good job. That's a good boy.
That's a good boy.
That's a good boy.
No wonder all dogs go to heaven.
Charlie B. Barker's a good boy.
It currently holds an approval rating of
78.
44%.
Oh,
Yeah. And an audience score of
9.
63%.
63, okay.
Upon its release, some criticized the film for some of its darker subject material like death, violence, theft, drinking, smoking, gambling, murder, demons, and a depiction of hell.
Whatever, squares.
Really, the first 15 minutes of this movie, when he breaks out of the dog pound and he goes because he thinks him and Carface are still good because they both have worked together, so he goes back there to get some of his money from that he's owed. Dogs
use money.
They use money.
Okay.
And there's just it's gambling, dogs boozing, smoking big cigars.
What's on dog money, do you think?
No, they use people money.
Oh, people money.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not special money.
Oh yeah, no. They're just using American US.
They can't
USD.
talk, but they can count money.
Yeah.
All right.
They can talk to each other.
Yeah, they can talk to each other.
There is a great scene where they have to go make a bet on a horse race. I believe it's happening.
Dogs with money betting on horse races.
Yes. With the little girl.
Okay. Oh,
because she had to talk to the horses to figure it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they do the.
Oh, remember Mr. Ed? Or not Mr. Ed. What was the horse movie that had in the
Mr.
80s?
Ed. Oh.
With Bobcat Goldthwait.
Okay. I just found out that movie existed 4 nights ago.
Oh, it's a good movie. I'm sorry, but
is it really?
I like that.
I watched the trailer and was like, "Who the fuck thought this was a good?"
I can't remember the name of it, but
I have to look now because I just found out about it the other day. And
wow!
I watched the trailer for it.
Yeah, I watched that movie a lot growing up.
Really?
Yeah. We had 8 girls or whatever. So the dog has to take the little girl to the horse track to talk to the horses so they can get an advantage on betting to make more money.
Yeah.
All right.
What about this is hard to understand?
I'm just making sure.
And the way they do it is...
It's a kid's movie.
Now, a couple things, though. To get the money, they have to steal it from humans. So to do this, Itchy acts injured, and while...
Where do they hold money at? They don't have pockets.
Well...
they
have buttholes.
Okay.
And while Itchy is distracting the humans, by their because they're concerned with him, Charlie be barking. Charlie be stealing the wallet out of their pants.
If I didn't already have a killer rap name, I think it might be Charlie B. Barker. If I wasn't already flip switches and didn't already have millions of fans worldwide.
Right. You don't want to
I don't want to switch out the brand and become Charlie B. Barker, but that's a fucking pretty good rap name.
Then they do the classic people in dogs and a person in a trench coat on each other's shoulders.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
To get more money.
To place the bet.
At least they got somewhere to put money now. They got pockets.
That movie is called Hot to Trot.
Hot to Trot. What year?
88.
88.
Do we need to go back and do part 1 again so you can include it?
I might have to. I might have to give that an honorable mention.
And then on the cover is a animated Bob Goldthwait sitting with a horse in a business suit. And the horse is saying, "When I talk, you're going to laugh yourself, horse."
So Bobcat in the movie, or is he the voice of the horse?
Bobcat's in the movie.
Okay.
The voice of the horse is John Candy.
Yeah, that's fucking it. John Candy's the voice of the horse.
Blew my mind.
Yeah.
How did they get John Candy?
I don't think I thought of that movie until for a long time until I just thought about the talking horses.
I don't know how they got John Candy for this.
Hot to Trot.
The storyline is Fred P. Cheney, played by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yep.
Receives as inheritance.
Just fucking waves of nostalgia rushing me right now.
Receives as inheritance after the death of his mother a speaking horse that also has good knowledge about the stock market. With the help of this horse, Fred gains a lot at the stock market of Chicago.
Yeah. That's right. It's Bobcat Goldthwait.
And then I just remembered, speaking of nostalgia, I had completely forgot about this movie. It was a Disney one. It was a made-for-TV movie called Fuzz Bucket. You remember that at all?
No, I don't.
It's on the Disney Channel. I loved it as a kid. As soon as I saw the picture of it again, it all came back to me.
Uh-huh.
And I tried to watch it on the Disney Channel. I made it like 10 minutes in, and I was just like, "Good God, this sucks." But it's like
didn't make the list.
It looks like a like Fuzzbucket, the creature named Fuzzbucket, kind of looks like if Alf was like addicted to like heroin.
All right.
Like not doing well.
And not doing well.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right.
So
I have to try. I need to get that on VHS.
If you can, that'd be
Yeah.
So it has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 44%, audience score of 63%.
Hot to try?
No.
Oh.
What do I have to? God damn it! We'll get back to All Dogs Go to Heaven. I have to see what Hot to Trot has on
Hot
Rotten
to
Tomatoes.
Trot is taking over another podcast. It's known for it. John Candy. Golly, I can't believe I forgot that. I can hear his voice in my head now, though. Because it's basically just John Candy doing his John Candy voice.
It doesn't even have a rating.
Oh, none of that people have voted for it?
It's got 16 reviews, but
wow.
The audience score is 40%.
Okay.
Which is really not.
I'm sure I rented that, but I feel like that was just something that was on Cinemax or like Showtime at the time a lot. You know, like the few windows of time growing up where we'd have like the premium channels, as they were called. And I was like, a talking horse, I gotta watch this.
Somebody reviewed it and said, Hot to Trot sounded truly awful. It turned out to be worse. Hot to Trot is an unbridled disaster, a screwball horseplay so lame, you want to put it out of its misery.
If I wish I would have reviewed it as a 10-year-old, because I'd be like, oh my God, you guys, it's a talking horse, it's John Candy. Remember John Candy's Buckle Buck? He's a talking horse!
Yeah, that's so funny you brought it up, because I forget how I stumbled onto it.
How did you stumble on the Hot to Trot? That is, how did that happen?
You can get it on eBay right now for $6.
What's going on in your life where you just like, you stumble into a Hot to Trot?
Oh man, how much time you got? So, All Dogs Go to Heaven is a movie. Upon its release, okay, so all the gambling, all that stuff. Unfortunately, with it being released on the same day as The Little Mermaid, critics of the film often compared it to the Disney film. While I am a fan of quite a few Disney films, looking back, it was Don Bluth's productions that made me fall in love with animation. The Secret of NIMH, An American Tail, The Land Before Time, and All Dogs Go to Heaven were all animated films made by Don Bluth that I watched over and over again as a kid in the 80s. Bluth had worked for Disney, had left because he didn't like how things were going, and opened his own animation
studio. You guys froze his head? That is... What
fucked up, guys.
What the fuck? I mean, dogs gambling and doing drugs and, you know, all this other shit, fine. But freezing heads... I'm out of here.
In 97, Don Bluth would make Anastasia, which I think if people have the same brain as me, probably thought it was a Disney film. I've thought it was a Disney film forever. But it's a great, like, it fits right in with Disney, but it's a Bluth film. His last theatrical release was 2000's Titan AE, which is a very underrated animated sci-fi film featuring the voice work of, this is ridiculous, Matt Damon, Bill Pullman, John Leguizamo, Nathan Lane, Janine Garofalo, Drew Barrymore, Ron Perlman, and Tone Loc.
Tone Loc?
Tone Loc.
Funky Cold Medina?
Funky Cold Medina.
Damn. Funky Cold Medina.
Now let me bring things down a lot real quick.
Okay. Don't start crying again.
The voice of Anne-Marie was provided by 10-year-old Judith Barcy, who had also provided the voice of Ducky in The Land Before Time. Tragically, this was her final film. She and her mother were murdered by her father a year and a half before the film's release.
You didn't have to include that part.
I found it out last night and was like, wow.
Damn.
That is rough. Yeah, apparently the guy was a real piece of shit.
All girls that voiced his dogs, though, go to heaven. So it's okay.
Yeah. So... yeah, that
sucks.
That one ends with a real bummer. Apparently, the song at the very end of the movie is dedicated to her, and Don Bluth went on and on about.
So it kind of happened like before the movie came out.
Yeah, a year and a half before the movie was actually released.
Oh wow, okay.
So, because I think they do.
Damn.
I think, probably back then, anyways. At least I'm pretty sure the voice acting happens first.
Yeah, and
then the animation happens afterwards. So okay. Next up is The Wizard.
I know what number one is, or the last one is in.
I could have flipped these easily.
Yeah.
Probably
This is
should've.
the sequel to Wizard of Oz, right? With Michael Jackson, and I think Diana Ross is in it.
That's the Wiz.
Oh.
This is the Wiz-erd.
Oh, okay.
Like a lizard.
Yeah, but
with
Wizard.
Wiz.
Oh, wait, maybe I don't know the first one because this has Fred Savage in it.
Yeah.
I was thinking of another Fred Savage movie.
You probably still know the first one.
Motherfucker, you get 3 Fred Savage movies. You're getting that's like a Fred Savage tattoo. Yeah,
That's got a hat trick.
Oh man, gobble gobble gobble.
So, The Wizard is a 1989 American family film directed by Todd Holland, written by David Chisholm, and starring Fred Savage, Jenny Lewis.
I saw Jenny Lewis in concert in Portland.
I know, who would have thought the girl from The Wizard that I
thought it at
I
the
had
time.
a gigantic crush on as a child would become like Jenny Lewis. What is Jenny Lewis in the fur? No.
Somebody, I don't know.
Forget what her band name is.
Yeah, I've seen her.
She's awesome, though. It also has Beau Bridges, Christian Slater, and Luke Edwards.
Great cast.
It was
Great
also
movie.
Tobey Maguire's uncredited film debut. The Wizard, originally pitched as The Karate Kid, but with video games, follows the journey of a young boy named Jimmy Woods who possesses...
I was thinking of it more of a Die Hard, but video games. Because there's like Die Hard on a submarine, Die Hard on a fucking, Die Hard on an airplane, Die Hard on this. But this is kind of like my Die Hard on video game.
What is the Die Hard on submarine? Like Under Siege?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jimmy Woods, he possesses an extraordinary talent for video games. The film centers around his quest to participating in a gaming competition called Video Armageddon and his ultimate desire to reconcile his broken family. The story begins with Jimmy's troubled home life. His twin sister Corey and he have recently lost their sister Jennifer, and their parents' marriage has crumbled under the weight of grief. Jimmy finds solace in video games where he excels and demonstrates an uncanny ability to conquer even the most challenging games.
DuckTales, woo!
Corey, recognizing her brother's exceptional gaming skills, convinces him to run away with her on a cross-country journey to California, where Video Armageddon is being held.
Video Armageddon.
They hope that Jimmy's gaming prowess will help them. Talk for a minute. I gotta look.
All right, yeah.
Look
I remember The Wizard came out as a pretty big deal because that's how they debuted Super Mario 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like before that game even hit the shelves or anything, like they had scenes. That was such a fucking genius marketing thing for Nintendo. Like they had like The Wizard playing boards from Super Mario 3 before the game was even out.
Right.
And they just made that game so much huger, which it was, huge anyway because it was Mario. But Mario 2 is not very good, so I think it was a real good upgrade.
So
Mario 2.
I don't know what happened. So not twin sister.
But I did pretty good, didn't I? You told
did,
me to
that was
talk,
good.
and I fucking talked.
Not twin sister, twin brother Corey, played by Fred Savage. They lost their Jimmy's twin is Jennifer, and she died.
Yeah.
So then his older brother Corey, played by Fred Savage, has him leave on this cross-country road trip. They run into Jenny Lewis. Her character's name is Haley. I have no fucking idea what I was looking at when I wrote some of this.
Well, it's all the tears in your eyes. It's
Yeah.
hard for you to see the screen sometimes.
So
I always cheer you up when I come over, and you stop crying.
there's like the scene with like the dinosaur exhibit thing.
Yep.
They end up making it to the
Power
Video
Glove.
Armageddon tournament. All the while, Beau Bridges and Christian Slater are trying to track them down.
Yeah.
Because I think they're Haley's family. I think.
I don't remember.
There's a scene where Beau Bridges is playing a video game in the hotel. Great little cross-country road trip movie. At Video Armageddon, Jimmy's exceptional gaming skills become the talk of the event. He faces fierce competition, including his nemesis.
That kid doesn't talk hard the whole movie.
Right, he's autistic and has. So Jimmy ends up winning the video game tournament and the prize money. Rather than using the prize money to fix his family's problems, though, it's donated to help children with disabilities. The Wizard is a nostalgic and heartwarming tale that explores the themes of resilience, the power of friendship.
It's a Nintendo commercial.
Well, we'll get to that. And the importance of embracing one's unique talents. It showcases the transformative potential of chasing dreams, healing familial bonds, and finding strength in unexpected places.
And Nintendo.
It debuted at number 5 on December 15th, 1989, earning $2,142,525 in the domestic box office over its opening weekend. At the end of its run, the film had grossed just over $14 million worldwide. It was based on a $6 million budget. The film was a moderate box office success, after which it became a cult film. It also introduced most American kids to one of the greatest video games ever made. During 1988, a shortage of ROM chips and the preparation of a version of Super Mario Bros. 2.
Don't remind me of the ROM chip shortage of 88.
We were all...
What a good men died!
Can't believe we made it through it.
I know.
Bless our Lord
Like,
every
imagine
day.
going without Wi-Fi now. That's what it was like, kids.
Yeah. Yeah, no ROM chips.
Yeah, man.
Whatever those were. But a lot of video games were delayed in America. One such product was Super Mario Bros. 3. The delay presented Nintendo with an opportunity to promote the game in a feature film. In '89, Tom Pollock of Universal Studios approached Nintendo of America's marketing department about a video game film, inspired by Nintendo video game competitions. Pollock envisioned a video game version of Tommy for younger audiences. Nintendo licensed its product for inclusion in the film. During production, the filmmakers were granted approval from Nintendo regarding the script and portrayal of its games. Super Mario Bros. 3 was one of the products shown in the film and was used in a final scene involving the video game competition.
Yeah, I didn't make that up.
You didn't.
I didn't.
You did not. Despite the film touting itself as featuring the first public reveal of Mario 3, the game had already been released in Japan during the previous year.
Bullshit!
With U.S. magazines such as
So I made that up!
Electronic Gaming Monthly and GamePro having already covered the Japanese version. I miss video game magazines.
Yeah.
Back GamePro I used to have.
Oh, yeah.
And then EGM, yeah, and Nintendo
Nintendo
Power. The movie also prominently featured another NES game, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. That's the one the dude Bo Bridges is playing in the hotel.
Okay.
As well as the Power Glove, a Nintendo accessory that the film definitely made seem way cooler than it actually was.
Wasn't easy to use.
It sucked.
Yeah.
I mean...
That's funny, we're talking Nintendo, too, with my yard sale score that I was bragging about.
Yeah, what'd you get?
I got the
little
mini
Nintendo.
NES, and hopefully it has some of those games
preloaded
to
ones,
it.
yeah.
$5.
That's insane.
I robbed that lady.
If that doesn't work, I'll cry again. The movie was heavily criticized, with many critics labeling it nothing more than a feature-length commercial for Universal Studios and Nintendo.
See, as a kid, I didn't see any of that. I was just like, this is fucking awesome.
My next line is, but to a 6-year-old me, it was fucking awesome.
See, I was at 89.
Yeah.
See, I was like 10 or 11, so I was like playing Nintendo. And
Yeah.
There's like a picture of me playing Mario 3 with like the book that you would buy, you know, that had all the secrets.
Yeah.
Remember the cards
The
you had
tips
to
and
turn
tricks and
over?
stuff, yep.
Showed like where all the cards were. Like there's a picture of me playing that with like that book like opened up in my lap, and Mario 3 was huge for me, man.
And then if this was 89, that means I probably would have got my Nintendo the year before.
Yeah, you were
or whatever.
a little kid.
So this was like, yeah, seeing this. And 40-year-old me completely disagrees with its current approval rating of 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. It does hold an audience score of 59%, which means 41% of the audience can stick a Power Glove up their ass.
Yeah, I want to watch that movie now. I want to watch that and your last one. What was the one we just did?
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh, not that one.
You want to watch Princess Bride?
Oh, no, Hot to Trot.
That wasn't my movie.
I know. What was your first movie?
Princess Bride.
No, the first one.
Princess Bride.
Was it Princess Bride?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Howard the Duck.
Oh, Howard the Duck. Yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
I'll watch Princess Bride.
I definitely want The Wizard on VHS. So.
Yeah, that would be a good one to have.
All right. Last one on my list. Mine's not in like a top 5.
Okay.
I figured.
When we're done, I want you to rank them.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do that. So
I'm gonna make you.
last one on the list. Little Monsters.
Little Monsters, the Fred Savage fucking trio.
The trifecta, baby.
Man, if you had bet on 3 Fred Savage movies, you hit the trifecta.
I didn't realize it until I was doing this list that I was like, Fred Savage left an impact.
Man, is there a movie with the Coreys and Fred Savage?
No.
Fuck, I don't think the universe could take it.
Let me check just to be sure.
I bet they tried, but yeah, Little Monsters. That was Howie Mandel played the monster, and Fred Savage, and I think his little brother was really in it too. Like Daniel Stern was his dad. Let's see what I can just remember from it. And that had a colorful cast of characters, all the different monsters and stuff. It'd like come under your bed, and he made the bully drink pee.
Yes.
That was a kid's movie. I watched that movie.
Who put piss in my apple juice? Or who pissed in my apple juice? He's not been in the movies, of course. Okay, so yeah, it's a fantasy adventure film that takes viewers on a wild and imaginative journey into a hidden world inhabited by mischievous monsters. The story revolves around a young boy named Brian Stevenson, who discovers that beneath his bed lies an extraordinary secret. He is an ordinary and curious child who was intrigued by the idea of monsters. One night, he discovers a portal under his bed.
He had a cool room, too. It was like the one upstairs in the attic.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
And he was he was basically a genius when it came to, like,
he was a little prick,
building shit.
Yeah, he was a little prick.
He was.
He was a little prick.
He
started getting that testosterone flowing. Them 12-year-old boys, man, they're little fucking pricks.
When he was intrigued by the idea of monsters, but the reason he ends up discovering this is because he switched beds with his little brother.
Yeah, his little brother's saying that there's monsters, and he's trying to prove there's not.
Yeah.
So he builds a trap for something he doesn't believe in, and he traps one.
So, in this fantastical world under his bed, he encounters a lively monster named Maurice. Maurice, who becomes Brian's mischievous guide, introduces him to the whimsical and often bizarre life of monsters. The land of the monsters is a place where monsters thrive on chaos, pulling pranks on humans and indulging in their own unique sense of humor. As Brian spends more time in the secret realm, he begins to form a friendship with Maurice, learning valuable lessons about loyalty, acceptance, and the importance of embracing one's true self.
And peeing in bottles.
And
making kids
He does that
pee.
before he... Or no, he doesn't. It's after they...
Yeah.
Never mind.
It's like a montage.
Together, it is a montage. I just watched this not too long ago. It's still...
It holds up.
Not quite the level of Princess Bride. I still enjoyed it, but I could definitely,
Definitely geared towards kids, where I feel like Princess Bride's geared towards a wider
everybody.
audience.
Yeah.
Before you go on, what was the movie with the imaginary friend, Fred?
Drop Dead Fred.
These two kind of, even though Fred, I think, probably came out early 90s, I feel like these two movies, that was like a offshoot of this a little bit.
I just watched Drop Dead Fred again not too long ago. It's still very good from all the stuff you remember from it, but not great.
I'd have to watch that. I watched that a bunch.
Yeah.
Like
definitely one of my favorite 90s movies.
Yeah.
So trouble arises when Brian's little brother Eric follows him into the land of the monsters. Brian realizes that Eric's presence poses a danger.
That little curly-haired fuck.
Little curly. As the monsters are known to kidnap and imprison human children. Determined to protect his brother, Brian sets out on a daring mission to rescue him from the clutches.
Yeah, he gets his friends. They got like backpacks, and they get like
all these lights and shit. They have to save him from the villainous monster
backpack
named
You gotta
Boy.
bring your backpack.
Named Boy. As Brian navigates through the peculiar and colorful world of monsters, he faces numerous challenges and encounters a lot of different characters. Along the way, he learns the value of bravery, teamwork, and the importance of confronting one's fears. In a climactic showdown, Brian confronts Boy and his gang of nefarious monsters, using his wit and newfound
Colorful
courage
cast of characters, by the way.
to outsmart him and save his brother. Through the triumph, Brian and Eric escape the land of monsters, return home in California. Remember the end where they try to go back to his bedroom, but it's already too late, so they just keep running from place to place. And then they call home, and they're like, we're in California.
Yeah, them kids.
And then it's like, where was the closing credits start?
What year was that, did you say again?
I haven't said yet.
Okay. Fuck me.
Although, I did leave off whatever number it is because it only says 198. It came out in the year 198.
198, okay.
Yeah, according to my research.
Could be any year from the 80s.
So, I think 1989.
What was the Fred Savage movie with Daniel Stern where they switched bodies? That was another good Fred Savage movie.
Yeah, Little Monsters came out in 89. Fred Savage and Daniel Stern switched bodies?
Yeah, it was like where they like look at each other and like their little soul switch. It was super windy out, so you knew it was gonna happen.
What was that?
That was an 80s movie. I was trying to think of other Fred Savage movies.
Vice Versa.
Vice Versa.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah, it was
That came out the year before.
Fred Savage was big in the 80s, man.
But that wasn't Daniel Stern.
Oh, was it?
That was Judge Reinhold.
Judge, same thing. Same thing. I mean, I don't want to sound racist.
I forgot all about this movie.
Oh, Vice Versa was my shit,
Yeah.
man. I got to redo my list now. I got so many movies that
So, Little Monsters was released in the United States on August 25th, 1989, with an estimated budget of $4.5 million. It did not go great.
No?
Its opening weekend, it made, mind you, had a budget of $4.5 million.
Was there the comedian Howie Mandel starring?
In its opening weekend, it made just over
$9 billion. But the B.
What's your actual guess? Budget $4.5 million. Opening weekend
$1.5 million.
it made just over $250,000.
Wow! Wow!
It would go on to gross just under $800,000.
What else was going on at this time in '89?
I mean, '89, everything.
Yeah, there's so many good movies. I feel
Yeah.
like that was Ninja Turtles too. Was Ninja Turtles '89?
88.
Or one of the sequels in, or something?
89
I wonder
was
what it went against.
89. Or no, 90 was 2.
Yeah.
So 80. I think 89 would have been the first one.
And yeah, summers when
Because
all
they came
the
out a
big
year
movies
apart.
Come out too.
I mean, yeah, this apparently didn't have stand a chance. It stars Fred Savage as Brian Stevenson, Howie Mandel as Maurice, Ben Savage in his acting debut as Fred's little brother Eric.
curly-haired fuck.
Yeah. And
Ghostbusters 2 was out. Batman, Lethal Weapon 2, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Back to the Future Part 2 was about to come out. But yeah, there was a lot of movies out right during that time to go against.
yeah,
Wow.
not a great time to try to have Howie Mandel.
Yeah, here's the top 89 summer releases. Batman, Indiana Jones, Lethal Weapon, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Ghostbusters 2, but then there's Dead Post Society, Harry Met Sally, Parenthood, Field of Dreams, Turner and the Hooch, The Karate Kid Part 3. Oh my God, Uncle Buck. These are all like the summer movies.
Wow.
No Holds Bars was that year. Major League. I
Good
still
Lord, what a
haven't,
year for
I still
movies.
haven't seen Monsters on here yet.
What a summer.
Yeah. But you keep going. I'm sorry.
Howie Mandel's portrayal of Maurice draws a lot of comparisons to Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice.
Little Monsters, number 71.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow. Overall gross of $793,000.
Of how much? Yeah, 793,000. Yeah.
Which they give you some. If I get back to the top, the number one movie grossed $238 million.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe don't go see Batman 7 times and go see Little Monsters. I'm building a time machine for that. Because I want Little Monsters to do better.
You're not gonna be able to watch it more than once.
Fuck. I've watched it more than once.
Not in a
sir.
day. Not in a day, though.
Oh, no.
So Howie Mandel's portrayal of Maurice draws a lot of comparisons to Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah. I see that now.
But just having watched it, he also and I might just need to see more Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
But he also is very, very much like Roddy Piper.
Yep.
Like in his delivery and things.
Yeah.
So
That's Howie Mandel, though.
Piper is a lot like Howie Mandel.
Yeah. But I feel like there's more of a vulnerability with Maurice than there is with Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah. Maurice is definitely just kind of like more wacky and goofy.
And just kind of, more of Beetlejuice is just a bad guy.
So
He likes to do bad things.
the Beetlejuice comparison does make sense, though, as a dude named Alan Monroe did production design on
That dude?
Beetlejuice as well as Little
Okay,
Monsters.
yeah.
The film currently has an approval rating of 44% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right.
With an audience score of 62%. And unlike The Wizard, I'd agree with those numbers.
Yeah.
Like, I would like The Wizard to be a little bit more even with that. Because
That's a good top 5.
27%, come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are my top 5. You can definitely tell there's, like, a little bit of an age difference between us.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, I've got, like, a little bit more.
I like the Corys. You like Fred Savage.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, to rank these, number one's Princess Bride. Having just rewatched it last night,
Yeah.
like, I can definitely say. Then Princess Bride, followed by The Wizard. Then All Dogs Go to Heaven. Then Howard the Duck. Then Little Monsters.
All right.
Would have to
Solid
be.
top 5.
Now, if I had... Now, you already took Batman.
Yeah.
That would be definitely, like, number 1 or number 2 for me if I had
Yeah.
kept it in my list. And knocked off Little Monsters. So, 80s were awesome.
Yeah, they were.
I'm
going to go home and look at my VHS.
I know. I was thinking about I needed to go through.
Separate the 80s.
I think I might sort my VHS by
Decade.
decade.
That'd be good.
So
Decade alphabetical order.
yeah. Oh yeah, it has to be alphabetical order.
So I'm
still.
trying to figure out how to
It's like
do
that's
mine.
bothering me right now that I just threw
Sure.
them in there.
There's a lot there going on.
But yeah, I think maybe separate them by decade, which means I'm gonna have to IMDb a bunch of shit.
Yep.
Or I guess just look at the back of the box.
Yeah, that's a lot of small
But
print.
I like the internet. I did. Speaking of the internet, I told you already, but I did delete my Twitter, which is like big step.
Good job, buddy.
Because like it's just awful. It's
It
just
is,
terrible.
yeah.
We still have the podcast
just
Twitter.
text me stuff. Like if you're like, man, I want to tweet this, just text it to
And
me.
you can tweet it.
Yeah.
That
No,
works.
no, just
Oh, I just thought you could be.
I was like hearing from you.
Well, we do have a Twitter though for the podcast. It's mid-age mediocre. MIDAGE mediocre. You can follow us on there. I will probably start being more active on there. We'll be doing some nostalgia stuff, talking about video games, movies, things like that. So give us a follow on Twitter. As always, Facebook, comment, like.
Yeah.
We want to know what your top 80s movies are.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be top 5. Just give us your top one.
Yeah.
Or a couple.
Or top 100.
Give us a top 100.
If you got time,
In alphabetical
we'll read
order.
it off. Yeah, I'll read it off.
Yeah, we will read 100 movies.
Do it to me.
Hot to Trot better be on there.
Oh, man. I got to watch Hot to Trot now.
Did I look up to see if that was on eBay? Yeah, you can get
$7, I think you said. Maybe, I don't
here's
know.
one for $4.99 plus $3.65 shipping.
I don't really want to buy stuff off eBay.
You like to find it?
I do. I enjoy the hunt.
Yeah.
Like, when I found, like I really wanted that Nothing But Trouble, the movie we were talking about, when I gasped aloud in the thrift store when I saw that.
Yeah.
Like, Cliffhanger gave me the same joy, because, like, I wanted Cliffhanger when I saw Starship Troopers. I mean, I got some really good movies today, and, like, I was just gasping away.
There's some stuff I've ordered just because I don't do as much hunting as you do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also
Yeah,
like...
I'm on Facebook. I'm in the thrift stores.
Yeah.
I'm out in these streets.
I try to do the Facebook Marketplace stuff. I don't ever see shit.
Oh, my God.
Like, I see people's cars and, like, just random bullshit that...
Yeah.
I'm like, who wants this? You're just trying to sell your trash. You're not trying to sell priceless items like
I
VHS
bought some
tapes.
trash. But I've also got, hit gold a couple times.
But yeah, there are movies on VHS that I've just went up, bought off eBay because I'm like, chances of me finding this out in the wild, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
So, but if you know of any, if you're like out there, in the world, and you know of like, there's an awesome, place for VHS tapes, it may be far away from us, but let us know.
Yeah.
Because who knows? One day we may end up,
Taking a road trip.
moving from locations and going other places.
What if we go to like some sort of video game extravaganza in Reno, Nevada, and along the way we'll stop where we can buy VHS?
Man, when I was a kid, all I wanted was to be in one of those tournaments. But I was like, I knew I wasn't great at like that good at video games. But I was like, those were
I could be the wizard.
Those were my rock stars for a little while.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a real thing though. I thought that was.
They had that game show on TV where they play. That's what I wanted. There was like some game show where kids would play like.
Nick
There's
Arcade.
a couple. Well, they had Nick Arcade, but there was another one. It was like on WGN, the Chicago network, where like they had kids actually playing the systems.
Oh, okay.
Where Nick Arcade was a lot of games where like
more arcade games.
Yeah, or like they would.
And I think they made some of the games themselves.
Yeah, they'd be kind of just like a generic jump punch, whatever. But video games were so.
But yeah, I didn't realize like.
And then a movie about video games, you're in.
So I didn't realize that video game tournaments were real when I was like that age. I thought that was just a thing the movie had.
Now there's professional video gamers.
Yeah,
crazy.
I wish I would have known that was going to happen. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of adults told me.
Yeah. Quit wasting your time in video games.
Huh. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Grandma. No.
Teachers for ruining my life. Professional wrestling was the route I took.
Yep.
Which was also discouraged, but I fought through that one.
I went through video games. Your back might be in better shape.
I
or
could
be
probably
worse.
move better today.
Yeah, maybe.
My thumbs would be a lot of arthritis in these old thumbs would happen, but I think I would be better. All right, well, let us know if you disagree. Let us know if there's any of our picks that you're just like.
We'll fight you in the streets.
If you want to.
If you want to fist fight over an
commit
movie,
violence on us due to our picks, let us know. We'd love to hear it.
Bring it.
Until next time, you got anything else for the,
I'm spent,
six
man.
people that'll probably listen to this?
I'm spent. You think 6, and then I'll get 12, so mine will do better.
Yeah, well,
okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I like the numbers. I don't like the numbers, but I like winning.
You do have you have like the. If I look at our list side by side, I'm like, God damn, those are some hits. Batman, Back to the Future, Stand By Me, RoboCop. What was your other one?
Fuck, I don't.
License to Drive. License to Drive.
Yeah.
Not so much for me. But the other 4 are fucking killers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time.
I like your list. Good job, buddy.
This is for us.
Yeah.
Right here.
I hope you don't cry the rest of the day.
We picked 5 movies.
You deserve
each.
not crying the rest of the day.
It's not gonna happen.
All right, you're worth it.
Just because I deserve it doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
You're crying already.
That's what life's taught me. All right. Bye.